it's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of training, it's a lot of learning. And most people quit at that point because they realize there's no real magic to this. I'm not gonna all of a sudden, turn into a wizard and be able to beat everybody up. I would just see guys try to intimidate me or try to get me out of my game. It's like, come on, man, I'm not stupid. We're not gonna play that game. For anyone else out there who's struggling with self-doubt or a physical, a mental, or emotional challenge, I encourage you to face your challenges, chase your dreams, and risk everything to achieve your goals.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like 9 to 9. For my top 10, top 10, 9 to 9. This one's for my top 10.
Need motivation?
Need motivation? Watch Top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you too. You have Michael Jordan level talent at something. So get ready to work hard, do what you love, and face your challenges with Chuck Liddell and my take on his top 10 rules of success to give you the confidence, motivation, and belief that you need. Enjoy. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1, work hard.
Everyone was always looking for that magic. They were gonna go to this karate school and give them this magic move and they're gonna all of a sudden be the baddest guy on the planet. Mm-hmm. Most people figure out in the first 3 to 6 months that that's not it. It's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of training, it's a lot of learning. And most people quit at that point because they realize there's no real magic to this. I'm not gonna all of a sudden, turn into a wizard and be able to beat everybody up.
That's right.
But for me, that was like, oh, well, that means I gotta work harder then. I gotta learn, I gotta be better at this. I wanna learn more.
Rule number 2, do what you love.
Did you fight because it's all you knew, or why did you fight before it became a cool thing to be a fighter?
I fight because I love fighting. I mean, I grew up doing martial arts. I was actually graduating in accounting. With an accounting degree. My grandma was mad at me I was doing kickboxing to keep competing. And my grandma was mad at me, like, when are you gonna get a real job? And then I found, I was thinking about it, getting a real job, and I fought one mixed martial arts fight, and I'm like, nah, I like this. I'm gonna stick it here. And honestly, back when I started, I mean, a home run back then was maybe 150 grand, 200 grand a year. Yeah. I mean, not like for a fight. Now, like I say, like by the end of my career, I was making that on my shorts. Like stuff on my shorts. So, I mean, it became. I mean, it was a good choice for me. I made the right decision. But it was because I love fighting. I just didn't want to get a real job.
Rule number 3, face your challenges.
Now I want to give you an important message. These past few months for me were a lot more than a fight against Tito. It's really been about my own personal journey and challenge. Martial arts has been my life. 36 years. I felt lost without it. It's always kept me centered and helped me find my focus. I wish the outcome of the fight was different. I never wanted to disappoint anyone or let anyone down. But this fight was more about pushing my limitations and getting me back to a place to find my purpose. And for that, I have no regrets. For anyone else out there who's struggling with self-doubt or a physical, a mental, or emotional challenge, I encourage you to face your challenges, chase your dreams, and risk everything to achieve your goals. Even if no one else understands, know that everyone's path is different, and you cannot achieve success without failure.
Rule number 4, don't waste energy on worrying.
As long as I feel like I do all my work to get there, and I realize I used to do, my example I always say is I was a good test taker.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I was good at test, when I started taking a test, I relaxed and I just do it because there's nothing else I can do. There's nothing else to worry about. So once I would be nervous and studying. I'd stay up all night, all the way up to the test. I'm looking at my book. As soon as it's shut, I just relax and do the test and just do the best.
Just put the work in.
And so the way I feel about a fight is I'm done. The fight week, I'm done. I've done all my work.
The fun.
There's not, and worrying about it. If I hadn't done all my work, worrying about it's not going to help me any.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt me. If I'm sitting there all night going, man, I'm killing energy. I'm using up energy I don't need, and being nervous and going out there and being worried about someone. It's like the same as being mad at someone or being
waste of energy.
It's a waste of emotion.
Also, if you want to have more confidence, check out my 254 series. It's free. The link to join is in the description below.
I believe you. That's what I would have said. Because I did believe.
Yes.
I believed in it.
It's good to treat other people the way you would like to be treated yourself. It's like a golden rule, and there's a reason for it. And that reason is that we're connected.
Success has nothing to do with potential. It's all about the perseverance of somebody. That will override any endeavor.
Rule number 5, never give up.
Go back to when you were in high school, where a guy was maybe at your level, or college, where you were competing and you said, this guy's actually, he's pretty solid when I fight this guy. But his mental and emotional toughness was a little bit less than yours. Did you see somebody like that and say that guy never made it past a certain level and you kept continuing to grow?
Oh, for sure. When you put under that pressure, you have two choices, really. You break and fold, or you come out fighting. If you're gonna succeed, and I think about anything, you need to be that guy that comes out fighting.
Rule number 6, always have a goal.
What did you learn about yourself?
You know,
did you learn anything about yourself? Because normally people who go through an experience like this, discover something.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me is that I don't want to take time off anymore. You know, I retired and I was kind of lost for a little while and didn't really know what I really wanted to do. I was having a great time with my family and doing a lot of things, but it was, you know, I didn't have that drive. I didn't have anything. You need goals. You need to be working towards something. And, you know, for me, it was a wake-up call and a kick in the butt to get back in shape and start working toward things.
Mm-hmm. Well, is there something you could tell me what you're working toward right now?
Well, I'm working towards a lot of things. I got something signed coming up pretty big pretty soon.
Okay.
So, but I can't let you know that yet, but it's coming.
You're full of spoiler alerts, man. There's a ton of spoiler alerts right now, Chuck. I'm getting the whole situation. Look, I'm glad that you discovered that. Because, you know, I've been around a bunch of retired athletes, and certainly the guys who I deal with the most are NFL players who sometimes are age 25, 26 trying to figure out what to do. I've been around Hall of Famers who are 31, 32 sometimes when they retire and they don't know what's coming next.
It's really a tough thing. You know, you go through your whole life with this goal. I always had the next game, the next fight, the next something for 30 years. You know, growing up, playing football, playing wrestling, fighting, always had that thing out there. And then all of a sudden, you don't have to do anything. You know, it's a freedom, but then it's kind of like there's nothing to drive you. It's kind of, and I was trying to do a lot of different things, but there just wasn't that one thing that kept me under control. And for me, that's not a good thing.
Rule number 7, control your emotions.
Here's the thing, though. A lot of the trash talk and a lot of stuff is aimed at that. You're trying to get guys to get out of their comfort zone. Jose Aldo and Conor McGregor was a great example. How often do you see Jose Aldo run across the ring and attack a guy that quickly? I mean, he's a Thai boxer guy. He likes to move around and feel you out for a round or so and then go after you.
Right.
But I think he was so mad at Conor that he actually ran across the ring and he got caught.
Yeah, he got caught quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried to do that my whole career, but it never worked on Chuck because he knew what I was doing. I mean,
right.
We made this up.
That's the thing. I always see guys try to intimidate me or try to get me out of my game. It's like, come on, man! I'm not stupid. We're not gonna play that game. I know what I'm gonna do to you. You know what you're gonna try to do to me. Let's just stay there. I'm not gonna fall for this.
Rule number 8, learn to focus.
A lot of people, when I started learning karate, I went to an old school style where they trained old school ways, which is actually really good for my ADD. was perfect because it actually trained me to control myself and be able to do, because it's trying to, if you sit there in one place and do this 500 times in a row.
Doesn't fit your personality.
Was tough, but I wanted it so bad.
Got it.
That I did it, and it trained me to be able to do that with other things, like be able to concentrate on a test and be able to focus when I need to. So I got very good at focusing when I needed to, and I think a lot of it's from that style of teaching.
Rule number 9, share your knowledge.
Have you thought about opening up a gym? Are you thinking about training people and coaching people?
I want to open a gym. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to get into all the way coaching guys to fight, but I always like working with guys that are fighting, you know, and always like showing, working with different things and showing them things I like or I do different than what they're used to doing, and just seeing someone use it. You know, if you got a guy at that level, I show a guy. I think one of my favorite things. I remember teaching Forrest had a fine point to something he'd done forever, and he said, "I thought that was a bullshit move. It never worked." And he thought, that's what I was doing wrong, because now it worked. It was just a guard pass thing, but it was. He's like, "Oh man, damn, that's what I was missing." You know, and that's fun for me.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is have fun.
You have to train your facial expressions too. My number one goal for Chuck for this foxtrot is to make sure that he smiles. Good, smile. Because if he doesn't, he's gonna scare everybody.
I'm so far out of my comfort zone. Anna wants me to smile, but I can't even get my steps right.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I'm hoping it's gonna look great, but right now.
Ready? Okay. He won. You got me.
Now I have a special bonus clip from Chuck on how to pursue your dreams that I think you're gonna enjoy. But before that, it's time for the 3-point landing questions. Let's go from just watching a video to taking action. Here we go. Question number 1. What's the most important thing you need to focus on this week? Number 2, where do you need to stop wasting your energy on worrying? And number 3, what's the challenge that you need to face? And if you made it this far in a video, I want to celebrate you. Give me a hashtag believe down in the comments as well.
I feel like when people face adversity, like the broken family, the poverty, and the drugs, and the chaos that we all sort of grew up in, there's two choices. One is I'm going to overcome this, and the other is I'm going to just give in and start slamming drugs and join them. The majority of people join them. That's why you have choice.
But yeah, it's your choice. I mean, for me, like I've always been, I was always a fighter. I was fighting since I was a kid, little kid. Had trouble with people for a long time. But like I was one of those people. I actually used to say in high school, what really sucks? The thing I'm best at, I can't make a living doing.
Right.
And I was talking about street fighting. And I was like, come to make out of it, I made a pretty good living doing it now. But, I just never had any other, for me, there was never any other choice. That's like, I have to succeed. I have to be, I went to college as the first one, I was going for my family. I went to college. I went to Cal Poly. I was going out there to wrestle, and I was, gonna graduate in accounting.
Right.
But it was one of those things. I did not want, and I was doing roofing, and those guys were trying to talk to me. Oh man, you should just roof. We make a great living. And I'm like, oh man, you know what this teaches me? I don't want to be roofing when I'm 50. Yeah.
If you want to see the top 10 I did on Anthony Joshua, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
There's some things that I can't get over, and I'll always be scared of. But I take the positive from it. Like, I'm never so confident I'm going to win,